Welcome back to Mortgage Insider for this week. We have a pretty stacked house of news this last week. Fed Chair Jerome Powell had his landmark speech on Friday, but a lot of the other Fed officials had speeches throughout the Jackson Hole Symposium. This is a World Economic Summit where not just our Federal Reserve, but lots of the European Union and countries throughout the world were there to hear these speeches. And the Fed chairman laid some blows out there across the bow of the industry. Fed Chair's tough talk brought down a 1,000-point drop on the Dow Jones last Friday. A little bit of a bounce back at the beginning of this week, but some tough words were said. Pain in both households and businesses are likely due to the Fed's combating high inflation. One of the other Fed officials feels like they can dial back from the 75 basis point moves in inflation once it starts to show cooling. Now, we've only seen the very beginning phases of a few reports, one of them being the PCE, one of the Fed's favorite versions of inflation calculations, came out last Friday just before the speech that he gave, and it wasn't enough for him to change his tone. His tone was very much a hawk, they call it. So what does that do to the markets? So we have here the 10-year Treasury. 10-year Treasury yield over the last 6 months has been on a tear. It's gone up. Anybody that's looked at interest rates will know that. Back in June, we saw the high point on the 10-year Treasury. We saw it reduce, and we've seen some bouncing around here. We actually saw it improve back at the very beginning of August. But for the month of August, looks like it's going to be a pretty rough month overall. We have seen levels getting back not quite as high as we saw back at the heat of the summer, but definitely elevated. And on the mortgage-backed security side, these are the loans that were actually completed and sold into the universal mortgage-backed security. So today the price is down. We had actually a lock alert in response to some of the market moves today. What that means is, same time period over the last 6 months, as the price to the investor, so the investor's willing to pay less as the price drops, they're requiring a higher rate of return on their investment. That's the consumer's interest rate. So as these prices fell this year, the consumer rate rose until, right as I said, June 14th was the high point. We've seen relief, and then prices fell again, and then just pretty substantial move higher, which was really a positive here. We saw the 25-day average start to increase, crossed above the 50-day average, which was excellent, and it just couldn't hold. So as we prepared for the Jackson Hole Symposium, we see that basically rates are just not cooperating. So what are we going to do? We're just going to keep having to live, keep having to move forward. If you need a mortgage, we're here for you. We want to make sure you understand what's happening in rates overall, so you can really take advantage of the market, take advantage of soft prices. So as housing prices have given back a little bit of their gains, there is opportunity for buyers out there if you're able to qualify, able to put up with the interest rates coming into the home. What we feel like in the future here is the Federal Reserve is going to do a great job slowing the economy down, and that could lead to a recession. That recession is likely going to turn the tides as far as interest rates, as far as the direction of interest rates. Will they go back to 3%? Probably not. All right. Will they get back to 4% or 3.99%? Maybe. It might take a little while. So if you take advantage of obtaining real estate right now, you could take advantage of refinancing it sometime into the future. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.